What's the difference between change and transformation? Let's look at it this way. On January 1st, most Americans make New Year's resolutions. This year, we'll exercise regularly, eat healthy, we'll stop smoking. The list goes on and on. Imagine you're a member of a local health club, and all year you've enjoyed access to your favorite piece of equipment and your favorite class. Then, January 2nd, your equipment and your class are booked. Now, if you've been a member at least a year, you've noticed something. Be patient. February 1st is coming, and then your equipment and your class will be available again. This is change. Change has a short shelf life. It's a battle of human wills to see how long we can do something we really don't want to do. Not so with transformation. With transformation, there's no going back. This is an acorn. It's also an oak tree. What we mean by that is embedded in that acorn is everything necessary, all the DNA for it to become what it's intended to be, the oak tree. Now, that acorn must collaborate, right? It must go to work with some soil and light and moisture in order for it to crack open and begin the long journey to fulfilling its oakness. And when that happens, there's no going back. Much like the butterfly can never go back to the caterpillar. Now, in our human journey, there's a catch. There always is. We can opt out. In other words, we can decide not to transform into the person, personally and professionally, we're designed and intended to be. Work is ideal soil for our professional transformation along the journey to lead thyself. Why? 2 reasons. First, time. Much like the time that it takes an acorn to become an oak tree, it takes time to transform into our professional fullness. Now, on average, over our lifespan, we'll spend 90,000 hours at work. That's enough time to do something and accomplish something meaningful. 2, challenges. Over time, work presents challenges for us. And these challenges we often label problems. The most frustrating and stressful problems are the ones that don't go away. They're called pattern problems. So how can we ensure that the time and the challenges that show up at work are indeed helping us transform along the journey of Lead Thyself? First, take responsibility. Thought leader Seth Godin, what's up, Seth? He often comes onto our show unannounced. Seth Godin says, most people want more authority, but you get more done when you take responsibility. Sometimes he's kind of pushy with his quotes. The idea here is for us to take 100% responsibility for what? For our professional and personal journey. Instead of waiting for authority to be given to us, we can have a bias for action and take responsibility for our own development. Second is be aware of potential traps. And the 2 key traps that will block us from our growth and development, from progress, from becoming our fullness of Lead Thyself are blame and excuses. Whether we're blaming others, making excuses for others, or for ourselves, there is no lesson in blame or excuses. Third, mindset. We talked about these pattern problems earlier, and ideally, what we'd like to do is get rid of them, whether it's a person, process, or project that continues to be frustrating to us in the workplace. We want them gone. Wayne Dyer says this: when you change the way you look at things, the things you'll look at change. If we can shift our mindset from seeing these as problems to tenacious teachers, we'll recognize that these people, these projects, these processes that frustrate us, that cause us stress, aren't here to work against us. They're here for us. So identify them as our tenacious teachers. And then finally, we can put to practice a tool. This tool is called Courageous Questions. So once we've identified the person, process, or project at work, that it is that tenacious teacher, we begin by asking ourselves, as part of taking responsibility, 3 questions. 1, what's my role in this? In other words, how am I contributing to this outcome, whether it's the relationship problem or challenge or process or project? Next, what might I do differently? Recognize that these questions are all addressing the one person we have responsibility for, which is ourselves. And finally, a self-actualization question. How is this helping me grow? So what's my role in this? What can I do differently? And how is this helping me grow? You may have heard the phrase, knowledge is power, and it's a lie. Now, it didn't always used to be a lie. There was a time when a small group of people had access or had a corner on knowledge and information, and that gave them power. But today, thank you, Google, we all have access to information. So today, knowledge is no longer power. Application is power. And when it comes to the transformational journey of Lead Thyself, it is contingent upon our commitment to long-term application of the tools we just mentioned. And then we will become who and what we're intended to be.